Today we are diving into the world of understanding difficult concepts, whether it's math, science, or history. We have all faced those tricky topics that seem impossible to crack. But guess what? With the help of ChatGPT, we are going to make them super easy to understand. Let's get started.
In this video, we're going to learn about why some things are hard to learn. Sometimes, things are tricky to understand. We'll talk about why that happens and how ChatGPT can make it easier. Next, we will learn about making hard ideas simple. We'll show you how to break down big, hard ideas into smaller, easier parts with the help of ChatGPT. Next up, connecting ideas to real life. Learn how to connect what you're learning to things you see and do every day. ChatGPT will give you fun examples. Next up, asking for help. It's okay to ask questions when you don't know something. ChatGPT is like a helper who's always there to answer your questions. Next, practicing. To get really good at something, you need to practice. ChatGPT can give you fun practice questions and tell you how you're doing.
First, let us understand why some concepts are difficult. Ever found yourself scratching your head over a challenging concept? You are not alone. Some topics are tough to grasp because they involve new ideas, complex theories, or abstract reasoning. But don't worry, understanding them is possible with the right approach. Let us see it with a real-life example. Think of learning to ride a bike. At first, it feels impossible to balance while pedaling. That's because it's a new skill that requires coordination and practice. Similarly, difficult concepts in school can feel overwhelming because they are new and require mental gymnastics. Let's do ChatGPT interaction. The prompt would be, I don't understand algebra. Can you help? ChatGPT would respond as,
Sure. Algebra can be tricky at first. Let's start by breaking down equations into smaller parts and solving them step by step. I'll guide you through some examples to make it easier to understand.
See how ChatGPT response makes algebra sound much more manageable. Now let us focus on how to break down complex ideas. One of the best ways to tackle difficult concepts is by breaking them down into smaller, more digestible pieces. Visual aids like diagrams, charts, and illustrations can help simplify abstract ideas and make them easier to understand. Let us see it with a real-life example. Imagine you are trying to learn how a car engine works. Instead of looking at the entire engine, you break it down into its individual components like pistons, cylinders, spark plugs, etc. This approach helps you understand each part's function before putting it all together. Let's do ChatGPT interaction. The prompt would be, I'm struggling with understanding photosynthesis. Can you explain it step by step? And the response from ChatGPT would be,
Absolutely. Let's break it down. Photosynthesis is like a magic trick performed by plants. They use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create energy in the form of glucose. I'll explain each step in detail.
breaking it down into steps really helps us understand not only photosynthesis, but any concept better. Now let us see how we can relate concepts to everyday life. Another effective strategy is to relate difficult concepts to everyday life. By finding real-world examples or conducting simple experiments, you can see how these ideas apply in practical situations, making them more tangible and easy to remember. Let's see it with a real-life example. Let's say you are learning about gravity. Instead of just memorizing equations, you imagine throwing a ball in the air and watching it fall back down. This real-world experience helps you understand gravity's force pulling objects towards the earth. Now let's do ChatGPT interactions. The prompt would be, can you give me an example of how chemistry applies to everyday life? And the ChatGPT would respond as,
Absolutely. Chemistry is all around us. For example, when you bake cookies, Chemical reactions occur as ingredients mix and heat is applied, transforming dough into delicious treats. I can provide more examples if you'd like.
That's so cool. Now I see chemistry in my kitchen. See how ChatGPT makes it so relatable. Now let us focus on asking questions and seeking help. Don't be afraid to ask questions and seek help when you are struggling with a concept, whether it's discussing with peers, consulting your teacher, or seeking online resources. There's always support available to guide you through difficult topics. Let us see it with a real life example. Imagine you are stuck on a difficult level in video game. You wouldn't hesitate to ask a friend for tips or search online for a walkthrough. Similarly, reaching out for help when studying ensures you get the guidance you need to overcome challenges. Now let us interact with the ChatGPT. The prompt would be, I am having trouble understanding Shakespeare. Can you provide some insights? The response would be,
Absolutely. Shakespeare's language can be tricky, but I'll help simplify it for you. Let's break down the themes, characters, and plot of the play you're studying. Feel free to ask specific questions, and I'll provide detailed explanations.
see how ChatGPT explanations make Shakespeare much easier to understand. Now let's focus on practice. Practice makes perfect. Once you have grasped the basics, it's essential to reinforce your understanding through practice, whether it's solving problems, conducting experiments, or revising concepts. Repetition helps solidify your knowledge and build confidence. Let's see it with a real life example. Think of learning to play a musical instrument. You start with simple melodies and gradually progress to more complex pieces through practice. Similarly, mastering difficult concepts in school requires consistent practice to strengthen your understanding over time. Let's do interaction with ChatGPT. The prompt would be, can you provide practice problems for me to test my understanding of geometry? And the response would be,
Absolutely. Let's work on some geometry problems together. I'll provide questions ranging from basic concepts to more challenging ones, and we can review your answers to ensure you've got it down.
these practice problems are perfect. See how ChatGPT helps us get better at geometry. Understanding difficult concepts may seem daunting at first, but with the right strategies and the help of ChatGPT, you can conquer any challenge. Remember to break down complex ideas, relate them to everyday life, ask questions, seek help, and practice consistently. Check out the description for all the prompts used in this video and try to tweak them to get the best desired results. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome videos. Good luck with your studies.